Hello students, a very good morning to you. As you know that for your UT we are revising our chapters. You also have to revise your chapters. You need to self-study. You need to read your NCERT book line by line. And if any doubt, then you can ask us as I have told you. So students, in my last class, I have completed revision of chapter 1, that is the living world. Now I am going to revise you the chapter 2, that is biological classification of class 11. As you know that there are various type of organisms we can see on the earth. To clear study about them, to know about their life cycle, their physiology, their anatomy, we need to classify all these organisms. First time this classification was attempted by Aristotle, you know about it. Aristotle was the first man who classified all the organisms on the basis of their different characters. Again, Aristotle's classification system was not sufficient. Why not sufficient? Because he just classified the organisms on the basis of their morphology and anatomy. If the question will come, morphology and anatomy. If the question come in 1 marks, who was the first scientist to attempt to classify the living organisms? So you can write here Aristotle. On which basis? On the basis of their morphology and anatomy. Morphology, you know about that, study of external structure, and anatomy means study of internal structure. Only the external and internal structures are not enough to classify the organisms into various groups or phylums or divisions. That's why next scientist was who classified the living organisms, he was Carlos Linnaeus. Carlos Linnaeus. He divided all the organisms into two categories. One is plantae, means plants, and another is animalia, means animals. He combinedly categorized all the species, whether it is insects, it is birds, it is microorganisms, bacteria, virus, etc., plants. Completely he divided into two categories. One he considered as plants and another he considered was animals. For some days his classification system was continued, but later it will create many problems. Means some species he kept in these two phylums and not satisfy their characteristics to place in these phylums, in these groups or in these kingdoms. Next, what happened? Next, another scientist come whose name is R.H. Whittaker. R.H. He classified all the organisms into 5 kingdom classification system. Carlos Linnaeus gave the 2 kingdom classification system, where R.H. Whittaker gave the 5 kingdom classification system. Means here R.H. Whittaker divided all the organisms into 5 kingdoms depending on their basic characteristics. Like, what are the characteristics? You know that, means whether the cell type is, then the cell wall, then the nuclear membrane, body organization and mode of nutrition. These are the characters which is taken by R.H. Whittaker to classify all the living organisms. Here you can understand, and you already know that how 5 kingdom classification was done. If question will come, how 5 kingdom classification system was done by R.H. Whittaker, then you can write on the basis of cell wall, cell membrane, body organization, mode of nutrition, then nuclear membrane. On this basis, all organisms are categorized into 5 kingdoms. And those kingdoms are Monera, Protista, fungi or fungi, plantae, animalia. So these are 5 kingdoms. So which animals or plants or which organisms are placed in these kingdoms? This is 5 kingdom classification done by R.H. Whittaker. On the basis of which characters? On the basis of cell type, then cell wall, then nuclear membrane, then body organization, mode of nutrition, etc. These are the characteristics of the organisms. On that basis, R.H. Whittaker divided the all organisms whole organisms found on earth into 5 kingdoms. In Monera, let's continue as we are revising. Let's do it first. So these are the basic characters. Suppose for example, in Monera, what is its cell type? In Protista, what is its cell type? In fungi, what is its cell type? And cell wall also. So here we can say that all the species they put under kingdom Monera are known as prokaryotes. Prokaryotes means these organisms have the preliminary nucleus or first nucleus, but the nucleus is open, naked, means lacks a nuclear membrane. So means here prokaryote, all the species they are kept in kingdom Monera are prokaryotes, means they have not a well-defined nuclear membrane, whereas the rest of the kingdoms have well-defined nuclear membrane. That's why they are considered as eukaryotes. Is that clear, students? So first character which is taken by R.H. Whitaker, that is cell type, and under cell type all the species prokaryotic organisms are placed under kingdom Monera, and rest kingdoms, in rest the kingdoms all eukaryotic, means well defined, those organisms who have well defined nuclear membrane are placed under rest of the kingdoms. Next is cell wall. As we know that cell wall means cell wall is the outer covering of the plants or lower organisms. So here cell wall, if the nuclear membrane is absent, of course the cell wall must be absent. If the cell wall is present, then what is it made up of? As we know that normally cell wall is made up of cellulose, hemicellulose or pectin. But in case of the species of Monera, either it is non-cellulosic, means it is made up of polysaccharides or amino acids, means it is non-cellulosic. It means it is not made up of cellulose which is found in plants. Then what is it made up of? It is either made up of polysaccharides and amino acids, or you can say as nucleic acids also. So students, this is the cell wall of prokaryotes. Then what is the other organism cell wall is made up of? Whether they are made up of cellulose, hemicellulose or pectin. Let's see. So cell wall is present in Protista, some also lacks. Clear, students? Next, fungi also have cell wall which is made up of chitin. Chitin is the substance which makes the fungal cell wall. Then plantae has the cell wall that is consists of cellulose, hemicellulose and pectin also. And animals lack cell wall. Instead of cell wall they have a cell membrane. This is the next character. Next is nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane, as you know that in the species of Monera, kingdom Monera, they lacks nuclear membrane. So here we can write as absent, means nuclear membrane absent. Here present, here is also nuclear membrane present, here is also present and here is also present. So they are the common basic characters. Next is body organization. Body organization means whether its body is made up of cells, made up of tissues, tissue systems, organs, organ systems, etc. So here we can take for prokaryotes, the body organization is cellular, means made up of cells. Then here the species of Protista, fungi, plantae and animalia, they are also so different type of organization. Here also cellular level. Here the species may show tissue system or organ level of organization. In plants they show organ system level of organization. You know about what is cellular level, what is tissue level, what is organ level and what is organ system level. I have already told you that cellular level means if the organism's body is either made up of a single cell or many cells. Then tissue level means when some cells together perform a particular function, that is called as tissue. So some animals' body is also made up of tissue. That's why they are called as tissue level of organism. If many tissues are involved in that organism or present in the organism's body, then it is called as tissue system level. Then some tissues make organ and some organs combiningly form organ system. So in this way, when we gradually move from left to right, that we will see that the organisms that placed later in the division, means later in the 5 kingdom classification, has organ system level of organization, means they have well defined body structure. Here again, mode of nutrition. As we know that nutrition is divided into two major types. One is autotrophic and another is heterotrophic. Again, autotrophic nutrition is divided into two types. One is chemosynthetic autotrophs and another is photosynthetic autotrophs. Here is the autotrophic nutrition and that is divided as chemotropic and photosynthetic autotrophs. It means those who can synthesize their own food either uses chemicals for their photosynthesis or uses light for their photosynthesis. Again, like autotrophic nutrition, heterotrophic nutrition is also of various types: parasitic, saprophytic and holozoic. Parasitic means those who take nutrition from the body of other living organisms body are called as parasitic. Saprophytic means those who takes nutrition from the dead organism's body, and holozoic means who take their nutrition as bit by bit. Again, parasitic is of two types. One is ectoparasite and another is endoparasite. Ectoparasites are those animals who take their nutrition from the outside of the organism, and endoparasites are those organisms who take their nutrition within the organism's body. That's why they are categorized as ecto and endo. Next is your saprophytic. As I have told you, mushroom means all the species of fungi are referred to as saprophytic because they can't synthesize their own food. They only depend on the dead plants and animals for deriving their nutrition. Next one is your, this is fungi. Then I have told you about holozoic. In holozoic, all the animals, including some unicellular animals also, they have holozoic mode of nutrition, means those who take their food bit by bit through their mouth. This type of intake of food is called as holozoic nutrition. So here our topic is whether the species of Monera shows autotrophic or heterotrophic. Protista shows autotrophic or heterotrophic. So if they show autotrophic, then which type of autotrophic? If they show heterotrophic, then which type of heterotrophic? So here we need to understand which type of mode of nutrition is shown by these organisms. As we know that the species of Monera are autotrophs, means they either be chemosynthetic autotrophs or photosynthetic autotrophs. Again, the species of Protista also the same rule, follows the same rule. Either they are autotrophs or some of them are also heterotrophs. Means either they synthesize their food itself or depend on others. As we know that all the species of fungi are heterotrophs with some exceptions. Then you know about planted plants are photosynthetic autotrophs and animals can't synthesize their food. That's why they are heterotrophs. Means either parasitic or saprophytic or holozoic mode of nutrition is shown by all the animals. So these are the criteria that is used by R.H. Whitaker to divide 5 kingdom classification. I think students, you have cleared your concept here. You cleared your concept that how five kingdom classification system was done by R.H. Whitaker and what are the criteria for it. So here I have explained you about different criteria on the basis of which it is divided. Clear students?